وسهلا بكل الذين ينضموا للاستماع إلى راديو بلدي، أول راديو عربي أمريكي ويعنى بقضايا العرب في المهجر. برامجنا في راديو بلدي كل يوم جمعة من 8 وحتى 9 صباحا مع ليلى الحسيني في بث حي ومباشر وعبر wnzk راديو 690 AM. صباح الخير بلدي، صباح الخير لكل مستمعينا.
Welcome to Radio Baladi, the first Arab, Middle Eastern, and American simulcast radio show. Radio Baladi is broadcast every Friday morning on wnzk 690 AM from 8 until 9 Eastern Time on Good Morning Michigan with Layla Al-Husseini. Our call-in number 248-557-3300. And now, stay tuned for the best radio talk show on Arab and American issues with your host, Layla Al-Husseini.
And good morning, everybody. It's the second Friday of the month, and that's March 9th. And you're listening to Yalla Fight Back, Radio Baladi on 690 AM Radio WNZK, broadcasting from Detroit. I'm in Chicago, of course, online with our producer, Mike. I'm your host, Ray Hanania. Yalla Fight Back is a part of the U.S. Arab Radio Network and Radio Baladi, hosted every morning, Monday through Friday, by Layla Al-Husseini in an effort to energize and empower Arab Americans, Chaldeans, and Muslims to stand up for their rights. The radio show call-in number is 248-557-3300. 248-557-3300. It's live, so we want to have you call in and join on the topics that we're going to be talking about. You can read my columns in English and in Arabic online at the Arab News newspaper at arabnews.com. You can also read those columns on my website at thedailyhookah.com. Locally, I write for several newspapers in the Chicagoland area, 7 newspapers actually, every week, doing my best to upset as many people as possible. That's my goal. You can also, I got a lot of websites, but thedailyhookah.com. You can also go to yellafightback.com. I have the book, just was released last week, 355 pages of how to kick the butts of the mainstream American news media. And I'm going to tell you what, I don't care whether you like President Trump or you hate President Trump. He's besides the point at this point. What really matters is the news media in this country is so racist, it's so biased. They talk about diversity. There's no diversity in the media. They control us. They have you controlled. And we're going to change that. So I published that book, Yalla Fight Back, to teach you how to kick the crap out of the mainstream American news media. And it's so easy. I was with the news media for many years, one of the biggest newspapers in the Midwest. And I was inside the belly of the beast, actually right at the top, writing columns and covering Chicago City Hall for 20 years. I know what it is. I know what kind of animal it is. And I know how to break its kneecaps. We're going to kneecap it. But you can do that. Go to yellafightback.com. You can get that book. There's so many issues to talk about. We're just going to take calls again at 248-557-3300 because I really believe in the power of live radio. And we always thank WNZK AM 690 for giving us this opportunity to share our opinions and our voices and to energize Arab Americans, Chaldeans, and Muslims in the Detroit area, in Michigan, in Ohio, who are listening in Washington, D.C., through the network that Layla Al-Husseini has set up, and online. If you can even go to my Facebook page, I got to figure out how to Facebook Live. See, because I'm on Skype with the studio, and I don't want to mess that up. So if I do the Facebook Live stuff, it just might mess it up. So I'm going to leave that alone until I test it one time. So you can go online. You can check out, if you go to if you go to thedailyhookah.com, you can find a link to the radio show, and you can bookmark it and plug it in and listen to the show every week. We're going to be talking about elections that are taking place in Illinois and the role of Arab Americans and Muslims in that election. We're also going to talk about the U.S. Census and how they're excluding us, and we're going to talk about the Academy Awards and the Oscars. Did you watch the Oscars this year? I'm tired of watching the Oscars. 40 years of garbage. I'm upset. 40 years ago, Vanessa Redgrave got in front of the microphone to accept an Academy Award, an Oscar, for a documentary that she did called The Palestinians. And in accepting the award, they were protesting outside. I don't know if you remember this. Back in 1978, she was getting the Oscar, and the terrorists, fanatics, the Jewish Defense League, they were protesting outside of the Oscars, making all kinds of threats, and nobody did anything. And she got up there in the spirit of Marlon Brando standing up for the Native Americans, refusing to accept the Oscar for a movie he did. You remember that? Vanessa Redgrave got up there and called them a bunch of bullies. And then this doofus, Paddy Chayefsky. Now, Paddy Chayefsky is talented, but he chose to use his talent to make some of the most racist, anti-Arab movies that have ever been produced in Hollywood. Paddy Chayefsky, one of his movies was Network, which, if you've seen it, we're victims of racism. So all we have are what they give us. And at the time, Network was a great movie. If you closed your eyes and accepted the racism that Paddy Chayefsky put into that movie against Arabs and Muslims, it was disgusting. But she stood up, she protested, and then he attacked her. Now, that was 40 years ago. What have we done in 40 years? Honestly, what have we done in 40 years? So we're going to talk about the Oscars. And we'll also talk about what's the worst and the best movie about that includes either about the Arab world and the Middle East, or that is about, or just has a segment about Arabs and the Middle East. We'll talk about that. I have a database that I've been building where I can list every movie that's ever been made, and I got them ranked from the worst, like Black Sunday. I don't know if you remember that one. Robert Shaw and Bruce Dern. They're going to blow up Americans at a football game. Cast a Giant Shadow with Kirk Douglas and John Wayne. The twisted story, the anti-Arab hate, of how Palestine was destroyed in 1948. They had all kinds of stuff. Death Before Dishonor. Fred Dreyer, remember from TV's Hunter? He made a movie called Death Before Dishonor. It looked like there was a scene where he massacred something like 40 Arabs, and it looked like a Hanania family picnic that he was attacking. Everybody in the movie looked like one of my relatives. I can go, and these are the ugly ones. Iron Eagle, The Jerusalem File, Hostage, the hijacking of the Achille Laurel. I mean, some of these, like the hijacking of the Achille Laurel, are true stories, but the level of hatred that they had to put to make the movies is disgusting. They could tell the story of the terrorists without feeding the hatred. And of course, the all-time anti-Arab hate-filled movie, Exodus, based on Leon Uris's book. That's on that list, too. In fact, I got 146 of them. They're actually more than 250, and I'm slowly putting them in. And as I go through, I rated them 1 through 10. And I'll tell you, the first 100 are 1s. That's how bad they are. And then the next 40 are 2s. I mean, every movie you can think of, To Live and Die in L.A., St. Elmo's Fire, they include some garbage about, Arabs. Oh, God, You Devil. You remember that with George Burns? Supposed to be a comedy, a humor thing, and yet they got to throw the Arabs under the bus. Are you kidding me? Does it really have to be that bad? Into the Night, The Sad Sack, Slave Girl, Thief of Damascus. It's a 3, produced by Sam Katzman. And Lon Chaney is in the movie. It's a ridiculous thing about an evil Damascus ruler. What else? And today, of course, we have an evil Damascus ruler, and nobody wants to talk about it. The massacres in Ghouta are just sickening. So that's another topic we can talk about. What do we do in Syria, really? I mean, how does anybody justify what the government is doing? They're bombing, and, you can say they're not dropping chemical weapons, but the truth is the UN says they are. Everybody says it, except for the Russians. And you really trust the Russians? I don't buy into this conspiracy theory from the media that Trump conspired with the Russians. The Russians have been messing around with our technology ever since technology was computerized. So that's been going on forever. They did it all the time. Had they not gotten involved in this past election, we never would have known about how Hillary Clinton controlled the DNC and how through her emails that were stolen wrongly, but we never would have known the truth. And that's the balance. We got the Russians breaking the law, stealing, and hacking our email systems, and yet the news media, which should have had the story, I mean, if the Russians didn't do it, who would have done it? We would never have known the level of corruption at the Democratic National Committee. Down in Brazil, I'm reading her book, and I have to tell you that the level of corruption at the DNC was so shocking, that Clinton could get away with that. I just don't get it. And if it wasn't for, the Russian hacks, and by the way, Donna Brazil's book is called Hacks, the inside story of the break-ins and breakdown that put Donald Trump in the White House. That's the Donna Brazil's book. Now, Donna Brazil, of course, is attacking Donald Trump, but the truth is, all these books like Fire and Fury and Hacks by Donna Brazil, all these books really are vicious attacks against Donald Trump, but if you read them, in between the lines, you get the truth of the corruption of the democratic system in this country. How can it be? How do we let this happen and we don't do anything? And I guess we let it happen because we don't do anything, right? Nobody's doing anything about the massacres in Ghouta in Syria. Just in the past 24 hours, the Ghouta Central Hospital, Al Hakim Maternity and Pediatric Center, Al Balsam Clinics, Al Amal Rehabilitation Center, the Al-Shifa Hospital, the Central Laboratory, and all the local humanitarian offices were attacked and put out of service. The population of 380,000 people, they have no access to medical care, and the injuries and the casualties and the deaths are just mounting up. It's unbelievable. The attack started February 18th, and they're continuing through today. They're well over 1,000 women and children and old people that are murdered and massacred. These are Arabs, people. I mean, what do we don't care? We're going to argue about, oh, well, I like Bashar al-Assad or I don't like Bashar al-Assad. Why don't we focus on the real issue? And the real issue, folks, is saving the people in Syria and doing something. And, of course, listen, everybody says President Trump isn't doing anything about Syria. Hey, Barack Obama did nothing about Syria. Absolutely nothing. He's a big talker. Blah, 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 blah. Happy talk. Mr. Smiley Face. Mr. Great. Listen, I met Barack one time before he became president. And, of course, he stayed away from me because, as you know, I'm a troublemaker. And politicians don't generally like troublemakers like me. They prefer other people. So he stayed away from me. I could never get him to answer for his failed leadership and his inaction. Oh, but they'll talk him up, and it's just very depressing, and it's our fault because it all comes back to the news media and controlling the message in this country, and it starts at this radio station, WNZK, where we're going to change that, and we're working hard to change it. Where Layla Al-Husseini every morning gets up from Monday through Friday to change that and make the world a better place for Arabs and Muslims and, by the way, Chaldeans. And as a Christian Arab, I know a lot of Christians, the Chaldeans and the Lebanese especially, they tell me, as a Christian, I'm not really Arab. And that may be true, I don't know, but culturally, I was raised in the Arab world. My mother and father are from Jerusalem and Bethlehem. Our family goes back years. One of my relatives was the founder of Al-Quds Al-Arabi newspaper back at the turn of the century, at the end of the 19th century, under the Ottomans. So, maybe I'm not ethnically really Arab, but I'm going to tell you something, buddies. When an American looks at us, they don't see the difference. They look at a Chaldean, they look at an Arab, and they look at the Muslim, and they see the same people. They hate us. Most of them hate us. Not all of them, but most of them. All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break here at WNZK AM 690 radio, Yalla Fight Back Arab Radio on Radio Bellady. Our number is 248-557-3300. I'm Ray Hanania. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue this discussions, and hopefully some of you will call in, rise up, okay? Get up, fight back. Call 248-557-3300. We'll be right back right after these messages.
The Rama Relief Foundation provides humanitarian aid into areas inside of war-torn Syria, as well as aid to the refugees who have fled to the neighboring countries in the Middle East. The foundation offers food baskets, container shipment, mental health, education, soup kitchens, and more. Go to ramarelief.org or call 248-990-4247. Any donation amount made to Rama will go to sustaining many lives. Call now 248-990-4247.
Ziyad brand. Quality products from our family to yours. Ziyad Brothers Importing offers the finest quality products, including brands like Sultan, Kraft, Nestle, Hook, Rico Picon, Donna, and many more. Ask your retailer to carry these fine products because you deserve the very best. For more information, visit our website at www.ziyad.com. That's www.ziyad.com. Ziyad, quality products from our family to yours.
When it comes to reproductive medicine, IVF Michigan Fertility Centers are the recognized leaders. With locations in Bloomfield Hills and 5 other cities in Michigan and Ohio, IVF has experts in all aspects of the field. As a founding member of IVF Michigan Fertility Centers, Dr. Nicholas Shama is one of the leading reproductive endocrinologists in Michigan and Ohio. Dr. Shama has performed over 10,000 IVF cases and has helped thousands of couples fulfill their dreams of parenthood. American board certified in both obstetrics and gynecology and reproductive endocrinology and infertility, Dr. Nicholas Shama is a very caring, compassionate, expert physician that understands not only the medical but also the emotional toil of infertility on his patients. When it's time, get personalized care from Dr. Nicholas Shama at IVF Michigan Fertility Centers in Michigan and Ohio. Call toll-free 855-952-9600, 855-952-9600.
Are you going to start a restaurant or grocery store soon? Do you need floor plans and designs? Call Najee Abood at 734-744-9796. Do you want to buy kitchen and restaurant equipment at discount prices? Call Najee Abood now, 734-744-9796. New Concept Products and Design, the trademark of kitchen equipment. 5% discount on all purchases of $75,000 or more. New Concept Products and Design, new location, 31185 Schoolcraft in Livonia. Learn more at www.newconceptproducts.com. Call Najee Abood, 734-744-9796.
And welcome back. I'm Ray Hanania here at Yalla Fight Back Radio on 690 AM WNZK Radio. Our phone number is 248-557-3300. If you've been listening this morning, again, I'm Ray Hanania, and I sit in here on the second Friday of every month to do a show on U.S. Arab Radio Network, which is hosted Monday through Friday by Layla El-Husseini. So you want to support her because her radio effort is the only real media effort outside of a couple newspapers like the Arab News and the Arab American News in Detroit. There's a couple papers, one good newspaper, the Future News in Chicago, and we got a whole bunch of stuff. Let's go to the phones at 248-557-3300, and even no matter what I'm talking about, we'll talk about what you want to talk about too. So don't be afraid to call in, because we got to change the system. It's not about us disagreeing with each other. We're just forced to fight each other. We're thrown into a pit like, wrestlers, and we're told we have to beat each other up while everybody around us is, controlling and laughing and cheering and sneering. And we're fighting each other. We shouldn't be fighting each other. We should be understanding that the system is driven by media racism, and you need to change it. Let's go to the phone lines at 248-557-3300 and say hello to Suleiman Ibrahim. How are you, Suleiman?
Hi, how are you?
Hey, thank you for calling.
Thank you. Anyway, I think I don't know how long you've been engaged with the politics, but I came to this country like October 1989. What I observe here, you talk. I don't think it's easy to change. Whether any president comes,
Yep.
With the election, the one who is elected to be, to replace the other president, he criticizes him. When he goes there, he does the same. Simply, the president is just employee. You have the monitor, you watch the monitor, but the keyboard somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, in other words, he's just the front guy, the president.
Yes. But the Gulf War, the first one, I like what the guy from Nova in Detroit Free Press, what he said.
Yeah.
All politicians are liars and lawyers, and there is no worse liar than a lawyer. That's my conclusion. Thank you.
Well, listen, Suleiman, I'll tell you one little adjustment to that. In American politics, there's no such thing as 100%. So we'll never find an elected official who we will say, wow, I agree with them 100%. Maybe we'll find a politician who will agree with us 60%.
Yeah,
so,
but it's very hard. The president can do nothing himself, because even he wants to do really to change the some leaders or do fair justice in the world. There is like evil people around. They don't show up, but inside they are rotten. And you see it now. You cannot even yourself. If you will be 100 years old, in politics, you will not do nothing. You say the truth. Yourself, he said, when you talk to Obama, he doesn't want to take answer from you, right? The question.
Yeah, he wouldn't. Why? He wouldn't let me interview him. How could he be? I thought he was, remember he went and gave that Cairo speech in 2009, and he loved the Arabs, blah, blah, blah. He was a phony. He was a phony. And so is Trump. Trump's a phony, too.
All the same.
Let's be honest.
I know we talk about, Middle Eastern, but Middle Eastern, I know they are just messed up, but we talk about here, same thing, when you see it now, just like circus for the street,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, listen, I appreciate it, Suleiman, for you taking the time to call, because that's the first step to making a change. We got to express our opinions. Doesn't matter whether we agree, but Americans are listening to this radio show, and when they hear us talking, if they hear silence, they turn away. But when they hear us talking, like you calling in, me talking, they pay attention. And one reason they're afraid of us. And they shouldn't be afraid of us. We're the best people in the world.
Yeah, you talk about the health care and people they losing their insurance. But when you go to the Congress, ask the member what kind of insurance they have. And they have it, the highest probably. They have all coverage. Why they have it was the other people, people they elected you. Why don't do the same thing for them?
Yes. In other words, it doesn't matter whether they're Democrat or Republican. They get the best insurance in the world. It's true. If you're in Congress, you get the best health insurance, and yet they won't give us good health insurance. I agree. Listen, Solomon, thank you for calling.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I appreciate it. 248-557-3300. You see how easy that was to pick up the phone and make a difference in your life? 248-557-3300. You can get the anger off your chest. It's better than violence, okay? Violence is not good. Violence is a way for them to defeat us. When people in our community use violence, it's bad. It hurts us. We can't use violence. We can use the power of our minds, okay? We can control our emotions, and we can make a difference. And when you take a moment to talk and express yourself, it doesn't matter whether you're a great speaker or not a great speaker. All you got to do is share your opinion to let the world know you're out there. Because if they don't know you're out there, they will ignore you, which is why, for example, they wouldn't approve a change in the census to include the word Arab. They didn't want to do Arab. And I remember several of the Arabs who were working for the census, they undermined us. They pulled the rug out from under us by supporting something called MENA, Middle East and North Africa. Well, I'm not North African, and even the Arabs from North Africa, I don't consider them North African, I consider them Arab. And they want to undermine the power of Arabs. They want to dilute us. They want to make us insignificant, and we do it on our own. 248-557-3300. Let's go back to the phone lines. Anam, you're on the Yalla Fight Back radio show. I'm Ray Hanania.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Thank you for calling. I'm crazy and angry.
Why?
I'm like that network movie. I'm angry and I've had enough, and I'm not going to take it anymore. But I'm going to be more pro-Arab than that ugly movie Network. Did you have a favorite movie that's been out that you like to watch about Arabs? Is there a good movie that you can think of about Arabs that makes us feel good?
Yeah.
Isn't it hard to think of one, right?
It is. Actually, it wasn't a movie about only Arabs. It was a movie about the three girls in Jerusalem. I can't forget about the name. They live in the same country, Christian and Muslim and Jewish girls.
Yeah,
and
I think I remember seeing that.
Yes, basically they share everything.
Yeah, but that movie, listen, that's the problem with Hollywood. That movie should have been in every theater all over the country, right? But it wasn't. Anything that makes us look good. And believe me, I don't care whether you're Muslim, Christian, or Chaldean, or whatever, there's no difference between us. When the American looks at you, whether you wear a hijab, whether you don't wear a hijab, we are all the same. The majority, not every American, the majority, they hate us. And the reason they hate us is because the media has brainwashed them to say we are the acceptable enemy. And in Hollywood, they attack us.
That's what it is. It's the media. They don't see us. They only listen to the media. Look.
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So the media is affecting every. It has the effect on every person in the United States.
Yeah, and you know what they do? They control the information. So let's say that you're working to do a fundraiser for a good Arab cause, okay? The media doesn't publicize that. The media doesn't cover it. The media doesn't write about it. So you work so hard to raise money to help women, to help children, to help Arabs, to help Muslims, to help Chaldeans, but the media ignores you, but they'll write about everybody else. And you know what? That's what is wrong with the system. Because I know that you do and I do, we do good things in this country, and we're not treated fairly. We need to change that.
Well, unfortunately, we can't change it.
No, you can. You can. Believe me, you can. Even just by calling this morning, you're scaring the heck out of people all over this country. Oh my God, the Arabs are talking on radio. How do we let that happen? I'm telling you, there are people that are afraid. They hate the fact that we're on radio just talking. We're not yelling at each other, we're talking. And when we do that, that's power. That tells people that you're a voter. You're a strong, intelligent woman who can do what she wants, and that's what scares them. Because they know that you will stand up for what's right. Arabs, Muslims, Chaldeans, it doesn't matter. We're the victims.
True, it doesn't matter. Well, you're right. You're right. When we speak out, we make the difference. Because everywhere I go, you're talking to a lady that 50-50. I adopt the good culture from the American, and I still carry the good culture from the Arab. It doesn't matter, Muslim or Jewish or Christian. So whenever I sit, between Americans, I would explain to them that's how I am. That's how we are, the Arab. And I invite them to my house, and I feed them. I share the bread with them. That's
and
how
aren't they shocked sometimes that you're not a terrorist? They go, oh my gosh, you're not a terrorist, Ray Hanania. I'm not a terrorist. I'm an American. You're an American, Anam.
Yes. They get shocked. I said, well, what you see on TV, that's not everything. That's
exactly.
Not the truth. That's us. Especially Islam. Islam, oh my God, it's the most terrorist on earth. Okay? So, I'm a Muslim woman. What do you see? Well, I'm a Muslim woman. I believe in Christianity. I believe in Jewish.
Yes.
because Islam believe in Prophet Jesus as a prophet. We believe in Dawood. So we believe in everything, all the religions. So here we are. I'm a Muslim. I'm an Arab. What do you see? Wow.
I see a smart person who's going to change the world, because when we speak up, when we don't hold our voices, when we speak up, doesn't matter whether you're 100% right, it's about speaking up and being active, because they think we're asleep. They put us to sleep. We fight with each other. We don't do anything. We should be out there speaking up, making our own movies. We should make our own movies. I did not watch the Oscars this year. I don't care how good some of those movies are, because I know the bad ones are the ones that have the worst impact. And Nam, I have to let you go because I got to take a break, but I want to thank you for calling in. Thank you so much. And don't be discouraged, okay? You're a very strong, good, hardworking person, and I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for listening.
You're welcome, Nam. I'm Ray Hanania here at Yalla Fight Back Radio on WNZK 690 AM radio, broadcasting live from Detroit, the heart of the Arab world and the Chaldean and the Muslim world. I don't care what anybody else says. That is the place where I drive to go get the best Arabian food in the world. Chicago has some, and that's where I'm at right now, broadcasting using Skype. And I'm going to be here every second Friday, 7 a.m. Chicago time, 8 a.m. Detroit time. We're going to take a break in a minute, but you can call back at 248-557-3300 and stand up to the racism. Just share your opinion. I promise you, you are scaring people and you're waking them up. I'm Ray Hanania. We're going to be right back right after these messages.
Life is a nonprofit charity that's provided humanitarian aid and development to people and communities for over 25 years, regardless of race, color, religion, or cultural background. When disaster occurs here or around the world, Life for Relief and Development rushes in to provide food, medical aid, and shelter to those in need. Please help improve these efforts. Make your tax-deductible donation to Life now at lifeusa.org or call 248-424-7493.
Ziyad brand. Quality products from our family to yours. Ziyad Brothers Importing offers the finest quality products, including brands like Sultan, Kraft, Nestle, Hook, Rico Picon, Donna, and many more. Ask your retailer to carry these fine products because you deserve the very best. For more information, visit our website at www.ziyad.com. That's www.ziyad.com. Ziyad, quality products from our family to yours.
أسواق زمزم الواقع على 24065 أورشد لك في مدينة فارمington هيلز ترحب بالجالية العربية والكلدانية. تنزيلات كبيرة على عموم المواد الغذائية في يوم الأربعاء من كل أسبوع. لا تنسوا فريش كاري اوت، جميع انواع المعجنات، وايضا صواني الكامبو المشكله والصمون الحار. لحوم حلال الجاليه العربيه والاسلاميه الملحمه باداره قصاب الجاليه المعروف سلوان جربوع. زوروهم على 24065 اورشد لك في مدينه فارمington هيلز او اتصلوا بهم على 248-476-0300. اسواق زمزم للمذاق عنوان لجميع طلباتكم. اتصلوا على 248-476-0300. اسواق زمزم للمعامله الراقية وكرم الضيافة عنوان.
The Rama Relief Foundation provides humanitarian aid into areas inside of war-torn Syria, as well as aid to the refugees who have fled to the neighboring countries in the Middle East. The foundation offers food baskets, container shipment, mental health, education, soup kitchens, and more. Go to ramarelief.org or call 248-990-4247. Any donation amount made to Rama will go to sustaining many lives. Call now 248-990-4247.
And welcome back to Yalla Fight Back Radio, WNZK AM 690 Radio Bellady, which is part of the U.S. Arab Radio Network. That's a lot of name, isn't it? That's a lot. This is hosted usually Monday through Friday by Layla El Husseini in one of the biggest and only morning Arab American radio shows and Muslim American radio shows in the country, broadcasting live in Detroit, on 690 AM WNZK every morning, Monday through Friday. You got to listen to it. You got to check it out. You got to support Layla because you're supporting yourself. That's the way it is. You can't look at it. It doesn't matter whether you agree with her or don't agree with her. You got to support her because she represents you. And we don't have a radio show. We're just not there. You can call here at this radio show. I'm here every second Friday of the month. And if you go to my websites, in fact, I think you could go to the ArabDailyNews.com or you can go to the dailyhookah.com. You can read all my columns. At the ArabDailyNews.com, I got a great feature that lists all of the events around the country. It's a calendar, and it lists everything, that's happening in the Arab, American, Chaldean, and Muslim world. Today, there's a lot going on. There's a Lily Bandek, a Life's Work and Picture. There's a reception tonight at 6 to 8 p.m. It looks like it's in Virginia. You can get information about that. There's a movie exploring Palestinian and Israeli relations in Naperville, Illinois, called Voices Across the Divide. On Monday, March 12th, there's a rally for Congressman Luis Gutierrez, who is, he and I don't always get along politically, but in all fairness, he does stand up for the Palestinians and justice in the Middle East, and he's fighting to prevent Israel from detaining and imprisoning children. Can you imagine? The Israelis are so afraid of us, they put our kids in prison. That's how powerful you are. When they put your kids in prison, you must be powerful. So you can go to the ArabDailyNews.com. You look on the right side, it says upcoming events. I got like a mess of them going through March and April, and you could submit yours and have your event posted and shared with other people. Earlier, one of our callers, maybe it was Anam, was talking about the movie, I think, called Jerusalem, which was about, but it's more of a documentary, I think, made by National Geographic Entertainment, which interviewed 3 young women, a Christian, a Jew, and a Muslim, and talking about the city of Jerusalem. Not a bad movie, but I was looking at the list of movies, and honestly, the top 10 that I have right now, and I'm doing this list, I have 146 movies, and there's nobody doing this anymore. I wish they would. The best, Paradise Now, from Warner Brothers, directed by Hani Abu Assad. It follows Palestinian friends who live in Nablus and have been recruited for suicide attacks in Tel Aviv, but it focuses on what would be their last days together. And of course, the violence is not a good thing, but this isn't about the violence. It talks about them as human beings. Why do they do that? Why were they, pushed to that level of anger to engage in violence or want to engage in violence? So that's one of my top movies. The Message, this goes back to 1976. Mustafa Akkad is the producer. This starred Anthony Quinn, Irene Pappas, Michael Ansara, a lot of people. It was a portrayal of the life and times of the Prophet Muhammad. And originally it was titled Muhammad, Messenger of God, but many Muslims didn't like the fact that the name, because they objected to, the presentation of the Prophet and the use of his name in the title. So he wasn't shown in the film. Whenever, and I don't know if I was at the screening when it was first, premiered in 1976 to Arab audiences in the United States. Americans just didn't want to go, and the news media trashed it. They said it's not good, it wasn't worth anything, they hated it. When I went there, they don't show the Prophet Muhammad in the movie, but they show what he would have seen. So at many times when they were talking to him, or he was talking, it was as if you were looking out at the world through his eyes. So that was another one. Of course, I love Lawrence of Arabia by Sam Spiegel and David Lean. 1962 movie starring Peter O'Toole as T.E. Lawrence, Alec Guinness as Faisal, Anthony Quinn and Omar Sharif, Jack Hawkins, Claude Rains. They had a phenomenal cast telling the story of how the Arabs helped the British organized the war against the Axis powers during World War I, and how we got backstabbed. Then there was another one. Actually, this one was pretty good. Now, this was about terrorism. It's called The Kingdom. This is in 2007. And it's director Peter Berg, and it starred Jamie Foxx, Jennifer Garner, Jason Bateman, Jeremy Piven, an actor from the north side of Chicago, and a lot of good actors. And it was basically about a terrorist attack against American targets in Saudi Arabia, and of course how the Americans working with the Arabs were able to figure out who the terrorist was. Waltz with Bashir. Now this was, and I rate this a 9. It's animated, and it was produced in 2008. That's another good one. And then Syriana, which included George Clooney, Matt Damon, William Hurt, a bunch of people, and Christopher Plummer. It was a good story about politics in Lebanon and Syria. It's just phenomenal. Those are some of the good movies, but I'm telling you, they're like only about 8, maybe 10 movies out of 146 that even come close to being fair and good in portraying Arabs and Arab Americans. Our number is 248-557-3300. Yalla Fight Back means standing up and speaking out. It means don't just sit there and take the beating and get angry. It means even you don't have to fight back physically. You can fight back with words, standing up and speaking, sharing your view, letting people know that you're not silent, that you are out there, that, they can't ignore us. They can't push us aside. The U.S. Census can't throw us in the garbage and say we're not worth anything. And I've talked about this, how important the census is. When the census recognizes you as Arabs, and it doesn't matter whether you're Christian, Muslim, Chaldean, or whatever, if they have that category Arab, that's you, because that's the way Americans look at you. Chaldean, Muslim, Arab. To Americans, you're all the same. We are all the same. And we literally, really are all the same. We have our own cultural and religious differences, but it's in the context of having the same goals in life and cultural heritage, which is just rich in so many great things. They won't include us because they know when they do include us on the census, when they do include the word Arab on the U.S. Census officially, that means that the government is forced to recognize us and determine whether our rights have been denied to us. So, for example, with Hispanics, they're included on the census in many different categories. In fact, they could break up Arab to say, are you Christian, Chaldean, Muslim, Phoenician, Syrian, Lebanese, Palestinian, Jordanian, whatever. They could put those subcategories, but once they recognize you like Hispanics, they then see where you live. And in Illinois, there are 2 big pockets of Hispanics living in Illinois. One on the north side and north suburbs, and one on the south side and south suburbs of Chicago. So and they're far apart, those 2 areas. But what they did was, because of the Voting Rights Act, and because they were able to identify Hispanics, they were able to determine that Hispanics were being denied their ability to elect their own representative. So they created a congressional district 22 years ago that was a circle around the Hispanics on the north side and a circle around the Hispanics on the south side and a little tiny umbilical cord that connected the 2, and that became the congressional district, the 4th congressional district. And Hispanics are able to elect their own representative to Congress because the census recognizes them. And that's why they don't include Arab Americans. Our number here is 248-557-3300, and it's 1/4 till the top of the hour. My website is yallafightback.com. I got a whole group of them, and I write every week for the Arab News in Saudi Arabia. Give us a call, 248-557-3300. We're going to take another break, but stand up for your rights. Take a moment, make that call, show people that you will not be marginalized, you will not be ignored, you will not be abandoned. You are not a ghost. You're a real person, and we have rights, and we want them back. I'm Ray Hanania here at 690 AM WNZK Radio, Yalla Fight Back, Arab Radio, 248-557-3300. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back right after these messages.
قشات ميديترينيان ماركت بإدارة سهر قشات وأولاده يرحبون بالجالية العربية والكلدانية. جميع أنواع المواد الغذائية، ألبان طازجة، الكرزات والبهارات الطازجة. داخل الأسواق مطعم ميديترينيان شيش كباب يقدم يوميا جميع أنواع الكباب، المقبلات العربية العراقية وصواني الكامبو المميزة. تفتح الأسواق من 8 إلى 9 مساء من الاثنين وحتى السبت، ومن 8 صباحا إلى 9 مساء يوم الأحد. تقع الأسواق على 2839 نورث ويسترن هايواي في مدينة فارمينغتون هيلز. لحوم حلال للجالية الإسلامية. لطلباتكم من المطعم كول 248-538-7855. That is 248-538-7855. قشة ميديترينيان ماركت، خدمة متميزة ومعاملة راقية.
Life is a non-profit charity that's provided humanitarian aid and development to people and communities for over 25 years, regardless of race, color, religion, or cultural background. When disaster occurs here or around the world, Life for Relief and Development rushes in to provide food, medical aid, and shelter to those in need. Please help improve these efforts. Make your tax-deductible donation to Life now at lifeusa.org or call 248-424-7493.
أسواق زمزم الواقع على 24065 أورشد لك في مدينة فارمينغتون هيلز ترحب بالجالية العربية والكلدانية. تنزيلات كبيرة على عموم المواد الغذائية في يوم الأربعاء من كل أسبوع. لا تنسوا فريش كاري اوت، جميع انواع المعجنات، وايضا صواني الكامبو المشكله والصمون الحار. لحوم حلال الجاليه العربيه والاسلاميه، الملحمه باداره قصاب الجاليه المعروف سلوان جربوع. زوروهم على 24065 اورشد لك في مدينه فارمينغتون هيلز، او اتصلوا بهم على 248-476-0300. اسواق زمزم للمذاقي عنوان لجميع طلباتكم، اتصلوا على 248-476-0300. اسواق زمزم للمعامله الراقية وكرم الضيافة عنوان.
When you're looking for the best in optical care, Dr. Imad Nakash is your doctor to see. With years of experience and thousands of successful procedures performed, you can trust your eyes to Dr. Imad Nakash. See Dr. Imad Nakash and his professional staff for your eye care needs. There's 2 locations to serve you. In Hazel Park, call 248-336-3937. 248-336-3937. In Rochester Hills, call 248-299-3937. That's 248-299-3937.
And welcome back to Yalla Fight Back Radio on 690 AM WNZK, broadcasting out of Detroit, Michigan. I'm your host, Ray Hanania, based here in Chicago, Skyping to the radio station, connecting the world. It isn't hard in today's technology to bring the entire Arab world in the face of Americans, force ourselves on them, even though they don't want to do it. You can make a difference by calling this morning. Stand up. It's like voting. 248-557-3300. Let's go to Habibi, Jerry Haba. How you doing?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Habibi, Ray Hanania. Good morning to you. How are you, Mr. Ray? How are you feeling now?
Calling and supporting us, as
you
always.
We always join you, and we put our voice with you to Yalla, we fight back.
Listen, we need to give an award called the Habibi Award to the best callers, and you're the #1 candidate right now, Jerry.
Thank you,
get the Habibi Award.
Thank you, Ray. I try to do my best, Ray, and I encourage the other listeners to participate in this kind of radio talk show, because if we don't do it, nobody else will do it for us.
Nobody will.
Start at your home. Start from inside my home to the next door neighbor, to the community. You know, Brother Ray Hanania, what make us the way we are right now? Us. Because 2 things. The right to vote that this country gave us the best gift, the right to vote as an American, Arab, Middle Eastern, Chaldean, Muslim, Subbi, Mandai. You know, we are not participate in the voting, and if we don't vote, we cannot fight for our rights.
And you're going to vote, right?
Absolutely, Brother Ray. Ray, look right now, the brothers, the African American, look how in any occasion, if they know somebody cross the line and put them down,
they stand up.
The next day, they are outside on the street,
on the
road, and they protest. We are not doing that.
We don't do anything, do we? Did you? Let me ask you a question. Did you,
yes,
Jerry?
Sir.
Did you watch the Oscars? Did you watch the Oscars?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Isn't it kind of sad? There are no Arabs. You know, they talk about diversity. Did you see any Arabs getting an award? Arab Americans?
I don't think so.
No, none. I didn't see any. There were a couple documentaries, but I think there was one best foreign language film. I don't think it won, but you know, I'm just depressed because the media and Hollywood, that's where the hate starts. Hollywood is just an extension of the news media. They just take what the media writes and they beat you up. They beat you up. And you know, you're maybe Chaldean, you could be you know, Muslim, you could be Christian. They don't care. They beat you up. We're the only ones that care, right? We're the only ones that get each other.
We're going to fight for ourselves. You don't expect, Mr. Ray Hanania, that your next door neighbor, the white American, to fight for you. You have to fight for your right. And look, Ray Hanania, how there's more than 145 Iraqi American detainees over 6-7 months by the immigration. Look how they are treating them, Brother Ray.
Yes.
Look how they are treating them
and nobody's doing anything.
No.
Nobody's doing anything for them.
And I don't blame ourselves, Mr. Ray Hanania, because we are not united.
Right.
Look at the state of Michigan. We have Arab in Dearborn, Dearborn Heights, Chaldean in Sterling Heights, Medicine Heights, Oakland County. I'm sorry to say that. We are not united.
I think it's complacency. I think it's complacency. A lot of Arabs in Detroit feel, hey, we have representation. We have a weekly newspaper. You know, the Arab News is the Arab American News is the only weekly newspaper in the country.
And nobody supported you. Nobody supported you, Brother Ray. Nobody supported we do have a few radio talk show in the community, and you see nobody out there to support it. Brother Ray, look what happened to us because our government in our homeland country, if they want to support Layla al-Husseini or Ray Hanania, you have to support their regime. Otherwise, they won't give you no money to support your radio talk show.
Yeah, they won't. We got to do it ourselves. Jerry, you're the Habibi winner this week, okay? The Habibi Award. We're going to give out, instead of the Oscars, or maybe we're going to give out the Abdullahs, the Abdullah Award. That's
right. What happened to the movie of the movie star Jihad? Jay wasn't supposed to be there. You didn't hear nothing about Jihad Jay.
I got to look into it. Jerry, I got to let you go. We're up against the last few minutes of the show.
Yalla, we fight together. Yalla, we fight together, Ray. Habibi, thank you very much, Ray.
Yalla, fight back. Thanks,
God
Jerry.
God bless America.
Thank you. See, and God bless America is exactly what we say. God bless America. Because you know what? We're going to make America a better place, you know, by being active and involved. We're going to stand up to the racism and the hatred, and we're going to do it the right way. We don't need to use violence. Stand up against the people that use violence and push them out, because we can make a difference by using nonviolence. Even civil disobedience, as the Reverend Martin Luther King used to advocate, that's good. You can stand up and do the right thing without hurting anybody. and we could stand up to the people that hurt us. Anyway, I am Ray Hanania. This has been Yalla Fight Back Radio on 690 AM WNZK Radio, broadcasting out of Detroit. And I urge you, please go to one of my websites. Look me up on Facebook, RG Hanania. G is for George, Raymond George Hanania, RG Hanania. Look me up on Facebook, friend me, support the radio show, get information there. Go to my websites, YallaFightBack.com, RayHanania.com, TheDailyHookah.com. I'm a media fanatic when it comes to the websites. I got websites all over. Read the columns, and you don't have to agree with me. You can disagree with me. I will respect that. It's just, but we need to talk. And the people that need to hear us talk are the Americans out there. They need to know that we exist, that we have opinions. We don't have to agree on anything, but we can come together, and we can say together that the media needs to do a better job. This country needs to do a better job. This government needs to do a better job. Arabs have rights, and we should be a part of the census, and they shouldn't exclude us from the census, and they shouldn't exclude us from the Oscars and the Academy Awards. We have movies, and we should be making movies, and we should be helping the people in our community who are making movies to get those movies produced. Listen, I would appreciate it if you take a minute, visit my website, thedailyhookah.com, send me an email, and tell me what you want me to talk about. I'll be back on the second Tuesday of every month. And I think the next time I will be on, I'll look real quick on the calendar. Oh no, in April 13th. I'll be here Friday the 13th. That's my next Friday. That'll be on the second Friday of every month. I'm Ray Hanania. Thank you so much. You guys take it easy. Mike, thank you so much for helping us with the show. We will talk to you next month, second Friday of the month, April 13th. I'm Ray Hanania. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye, everybody.